Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Big Four podcast. My name is Luke Spring, and I'm with the usual Brian, Nick, and Andrew. How you guys doing tonight on this Monday evening?
Terrific.
Cool.
Terrific. Nick's on the move. Andrew's in the car. We got a nice
Get
setup
used to
tonight.
it. Oh, yeah.
Nice setup tonight. We got a lot to talk about with the Seahawks and Arizona Cardinals. Candidate for Game of the Year last night on Sunday Night Football. The Dodgers also winning, one win away from winning the World Series, their first since, I think it's 1988 or something like that.
Yep.
And as always, stat selections and clown bag of the week. But first, our favorite NFL football team, the magnificent, the great, the one and only New England Patriots. Great game.
Oof.
Great game.
It was a close one. Tilt all the way. I
really thought that they had it. I really thought that they had the game in the bag.
Couple plays down the stretch killed them. Couple plays down the stretch.
Game was over as on the third play of the game, 3rd and 3. As soon as Jimmy scrambled out of that sack, game was over right then and there. Over. Took it.
Cam sucks. Or no, he did suck. I'm still
He's
not
just struggling. I think he could do all
But
right.
I don't like
think
Stidham either.
he's
So I don't know. I don't know who to like. I hate them both.
So
now.
indecisive. Like he has no it's not his fault that the receivers on the team are
We're back to week 2. We were riding so high on Cam.
of getting separation. Like they just can't. So he's not necessarily a guy who forces it into double coverage. Like that's not really his style. So he's getting very oh crap, what do I do? And doesn't want to run it the whole time. So doesn't know what to do. And I don't know. Some of his throws have just been bad. But yeah. And then for Stidham, I mean, every time he goes into the game, we're already getting blown out. And defensive or offensive?
Offensive.
Well, they're back now. Everyone's back.
Offensive.
Everyone's back and healthy, so that's good.
Regardless, the defense got trampled too. They did not look good at all. They did not look good at all.
Awful. Remember when we said that they were actually good at defense?
Yeah.
Remember week 3 when we just Cam's the best. We hate Brady. 2-1. Should be 3-0. And then Cam gets cooties and everything goes downhill from there.
Well, see, again, I'm treating it like I said last week. I'm treating it like the MLB season where this is just a development year. Cam's still getting used to the playbook. He certainly isn't used to throwing the ball this much. He's used to running it a lot. But I feel like the Patriots want to save his legs and don't want him to get injured because they don't want, after the Kansas City game, they don't want to have Stidham or Hoyer for the rest of the season. So I think this is, again, I'm treating it like the MLB season. It's whatever. It's a funky year. Teams aren't going to be fair. Things aren't going to be fair. So whatever. We'll just see what happens next next week against the Bills. Whatever.
Here's the thing. I listened to Nick Wright earlier today. And here's something very interesting. He gave me hope as a Patriots fan. The Bills have looked shaky all year. Belichick doesn't lose to Buffalo. It's just not the Belichick motto.
We're going to win the next 2 and go to 2-2.
They're going to win. They're going to be a game back of Buffalo. Buffalo goes and plays the Seahawks the week after. They're going to be tied for the lead. The Dolphins are starting their rookie quarterback against the Rams. The Dolphins are going to fall off. And then we get the Jets. We're going to be in first place in the division in 2 weeks. So much hope is riding on that. I mean, we're not a Super Bowl contender because we don't have the weapons offensively, and the defensive line isn't great. But let me tell you what, man, the playoffs are still very much in play for us.
Which is why
they're not out.
Which is why
it's the low point of the season. I think it's only going to get better from here.
Which is why I'm mad
Crucial
that both
12-4.
Which I'm mad. All
right, we can relax now.
Yeah, I'm mad at two things. One, that the Falcons are starting to actually. I mean, they blew another lead this week, but Julio's back on the field. He's playing well. I don't like that. And 2, the Odell injury. That was a killer because those are 2 receivers that have been rumored for the past, I don't know, Odell for the past 2 years. Facts. And then the past couple of weeks with Julio and Odell. So I really thought that they were going to pull the trigger on
AJ Green.
AJ Green, yes. He's also had 2 good weeks.
But let me tell you this. I know this isn't going to sound great, but there's still a chance at Golden Tate and John Ross. So not fantastic receivers.
Golden Tate and Evan Engram in one trade.
Golden Tate plays more like Edelman. I'd rather have John Ross, a burner, Golden Tate, and Edelman, rather than Edelman, Demir Burton, and Jacoby Myers because Harry just got hurt. Like I'd rather have those three receivers than what we have now because, I think Cam can work with a little better. These guys, the receivers are not getting open. Phil Simms said it at halftime. They're not getting open. That's the problem. They're not getting open.
Well, yeah, I'll take any receiver over the receivers they have now.
Yeah. So I think there's a little bit of here, a little bit there, but there's still a chance that they can get significantly better. I mean,
the receivers,
it all falls down. Cam's got to quit with the interceptions, but this is the low point of the season. I think it's going to get better from here.
The issue right now is, yes, the receivers are all terrible, but they just don't have a tight end. They need to get a receiver. If they can do like a deal with the Giants, with a familiar, head coach, with Joe Judge, to get Ingram and Tate, that would be something to do. And then or look at Houston, another familiar organization with a bunch of your old coaches and stuff going on down there. Get Will Fuller or Brandon Cooks back, even though he's kind of trash. But
I wouldn't want Cooks or Randall Cobb. I wouldn't want either of them because they're old.
Fuller, I'd take Fuller.
Fuller, I would take.
Here's an idea. What happened to the guy from UCLA, that tight end we drafted way too early? Why not play him? Make good use of him.
He's played every single game other than last week. He's on the field all the time, has not been targeted, doesn't even run routes. He just blocks. He's terrible.
They drafted him because he's like Belichick. The scout report described him as some spectacular catcher and athletic tight end.
Yeah,
why don't you use that athleticism?
They described him. They described him as a basically a large wide receiver. And he's been blocking. He's on I'm pretty sure he's on the field goal team as the far right guy blocking. And he's terrible. He's now inactive because might as well give Dalton Keene a shot because they can't put Ryan Izzo inactive because at least he knows what he's doing. All second year of Ryan Izzo. He's so great. But it's a shame. We went from Gronk and good old Aaron Hernandez too.
Remember last year?
Even Martellus
around week 2, it was AB, Josh Gordon, or not Demaryius Thomas, but AB, Josh Gordon, Julian Edelman. We blew out the Dolphins like 42-0, like Super Bowl or whatever. Super Bowl.
We were 8-0. Okay.
Best receiving one league, and then at the end of the season, our receivers are Jacoby Myers, Julian Edelman, and
I was saying this yesterday.
Or somewhere, I don't remember.
Since the Patriots started last year, 8-0. So after the Cleveland game, and so since the Baltimore Sunday night game to now, in the last 15 games, we are 6-9.
Trash.
Yeah, Chief.
That's crazy.
Are we including the playoff game?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
6-9 in our last 15
games. New England way.
That is
And this is what pisses me off. So let's go back. What pick did they have in the draft initially before they traded down?
They didn't have a first round pick because they traded their first round pick this year did they trade it for?
I think they had a first and they traded down for 2 seconds.
I don't believe so. They didn't have their first pick going into the draft was 37. Their first pick going into the draft was 37. I know that for a fact.
It's a high second. Whatever. They could trade 2 seconds to move up just a little bit and draft one of the, because who was the last receiver? CeeDee Lamb. He was the last, out of the three. Yeah. Out of the three, he was the last one.
He was drafted 17th.
Yeah, 17th. So even if you don't, whatever.
Brian.
But they don't draft a wide receiver. They draft a safety, a Division II safety, and Kyle Duggar when they already have McCourty and Patrick Chung. I mean, he opted out, but whatever. And then
you still don't have him.
But still.
And then I know that's what I'm saying. And then they also drafted him then, yeah. And they also drafted a linebacker where they have Juwan Bentley, who has played really well this season. Not Chase Winovich, he's an end. But Dante Hightower, who opted out, and they have but they have competent
John Simon
linebackers. Whatever. They have decent linebackers and safeties.
Linebacker set, so
why not draft a wide receiver? Why? Why not? You could have gotten Chase Claypool. He would have been awesome. I mean, obviously he's not like.
I saw a video where
awesome,
I'm trying to find it, but
Jalen Reagor. Who else?
Since
Reagor went in the teens. He went to Philadelphia in the teens.
19, I believe.
No.
Yes, Reagor was Philly's first pick.
I'm pretty sure he was
19, regardless.
but Justin Jefferson. He's been nasty. I saw a thing
Yes.
where N'Keal Harry was the first receiver taken 2
what's
years
that guy's
ago.
name? Tyler Johnson. He's been good
Tyler Johnson.
So
for the
like
for
the
Buccaneers.
Suns.
For the Buccaneers, he's been good for
Oh.
Tampa. No, he was played for Minnesota. He's been good for Tampa. He's got like 2 receiving touchdowns, and Ray's been
Whatever.
used him a lot.
Continue, Brian.
I really liked him when out of Minnesota.
so Harry was the first receiver taken last year. So just think of every single receiver taken after that draft and this year too. So like
DK Metcalf.
DK, Deebo Samuel.
God,
There's tons of guys. I'm not thinking of it right now,
People's
but
that young?
yeah, he's a second-year player. Ayuk this year went off
Wow.
yesterday, so
Yeah.
like
I know.
All
That's
these
what I'm
guys-
saying.
What year
Wasn't
is
Ayuk?
Oh, here
no,
it is,
wasn't
here it is,
Ayuk?
here it is.
Wasn't Ayuk a first rounder?
No.
No, he was not.
Was.
But can we just say this might be, I mean, I get that they're all only rookies, but this might be the best wide receivers draft class of all time.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson, Henry Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, who had the nasty hurdle on Sunday Night Football against, who is that, the Eagles? Jalen Reagor, who's decent. He just has Carson Wentz as his quarterback.
Yes.
Just so many.
Brandon Ayuk was drafted in the first round.
Chase
Oh, he
Claypool.
was? Damn.
Oh,
Yes, 25th overall.
Chase Claypool. Like so many
Okay,
good
here we go.
receivers.
I found what I was looking for. Okay, so Harry was the first receiver. This is just disregard this year because they muffed it by taking Duggar. That was one of Belichick's worst picks. He's had a bunch: Dominic Easley, Malcolm Brown, all of them. They've been bad, but Harry first one, 32nd pick. After that, Deebo Samuel was the next receiver taken at 36. AJ Brown, he's been an absolute
Oh,
beast.
he's dirt.
Cole Hardman, I don't like in our how we play. I wouldn't want him.
He's fine, but he just
DK,
doesn't get
64.
touches.
Deontay Johnson, 66. Terry McLaurin.
Terry McLaurin. Nice.
Hunter Renfrow would be an absolute beast with the Pats, and everyone knows that. Darius Slayton. And that was just last year, the top receivers last year.
That's crazy.
we
They're all
didn't
better than N'Keal Harry.
N'Keal's like never healthy, and like he really hasn't, like Brady refused to work with him and wouldn't throw to him, like even if he
Yeah, I don't know
he wouldn't
why.
do it. And now he was good in the Seattle game and he was good in Kansas City. He's just he got his head taken off.
Yeah, I
in
know.
that head.
Well, talk about head taken off. Freaking Andy Dalton got banked in a half.
Who's that? What's the
Oh, yeah.
guy's name? They're
uh,
something Danico or something.
Yeah, that's the name. I think you got it
Ron?
right.
No, maybe. I don't know
Cowboys.
now.
I
I
think
think
Brian got
it's
the last name
the-
right. Danico or Danicho or something like that.
Ben DiNucci. Never heard of him ever.
Ben DiNucci.
Ben
That's
DiNucci.
not-
I'm gonna
Well,
give
you
you
never-
his stats. He
you never-
played at
Yeah,
You
that's
never
his,
hear him
that's
any
his
team
JMU.
third
name.
stringers.
he played at
You never hear him any
JMU.
team's third
Oh,
stringers.
I thought we were talking about yeah, that's a third string. I thought we were talking about the linebacker who hit
Oh, Bostic?
Dalton. That was Bostic. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did he
he's
not
pretty-
get
he's not bad.
suspended? That's crazy.
I know.
I mean, I, don't know,
I think
whatever.
if the Cowboys made a bigger deal of it than
That's what I'm saying. I thought it
they
was-
should have stood up for
Okay,
him. If the Cowboys
okay,
were a
no,
normal
wait.
team and stood up for him, he would have gotten suspended.
That's what I'm saying.
But
I thought it was
no one cared about it.
hilarious.
Does
Like, oh,
this could
there goes Andy
easily
Dalton's head.
happen, and Dallas would kind of quickly turn into a team that would be good again? Trade for Fitzpatrick.
Yeah,
There's
but
no
I
reason
don't.
why they shouldn't.
There,
That guy
there
would step
is
right in
because
just like that. No,
there is
Miami
because
might not do it, but
so
Miami likes
this is
Fitzpatrick. They
why
think he's a
ready.
mentor
This
to
is
Tua.
this is
And God
why I
forbid Tua
wouldn't
gets
do
hurt.
it. This is
Unless
why I
you
wouldn't do
give
it
him
if I was
value.
the Cowboys. This is why I wouldn't do it if
it's
I
a
were the
lost
Cowboys.
season.
It's a lost season. Yes, you have a chance to win the division, but what the heck are you going to do in the playoffs? You're going to lose your first game in the playoffs. There's no reason. They need to save their draft pick so they can draft a defense, not a good defense, not a defense, because right now they don't have one. That's what they need.
And
is a
for my-
defense.
Yeah.
So they need to hang on to those picks, and I think at this point, it's a wash. This is great, by the way, for Dak Prescott. Absolutely amazing. Couldn't be better for him because now this
I
shows
know.
that they need to pay him bad because he works so well with them. So it works out great for Prescott. Cowboys just get the year off. Whatever.
I mean, it
don't
doesn't
think
make
they should
sense.
do it.
They need to sign
doesn't-
someone. Is Dalton out?
it-
Like
It doesn't make sense for
at this
trading for
point,
Fitzpatrick.
At this point, it doesn't matter. At this
They
point,
can't
actually,
start this guy.
at this point, they need to figure out what the heck is going in the in the locker room, because the fact that
they all turn on the coaches.
no one stood up for Andy Dalton. No one did anything. They just watched him roll on the ground dead. Zeke sucks
Mike
all
McCarthy
of a
should be
sudden.
fired.
Zeke looks like he doesn't want to play. None of them do.
Why would you?
They all look so unhappy.
If they go winless and go 2-14, Trevor Lawrence. Oh no, they wouldn't do that because they have Dak.
No, they would draft
they
would draft the best DB in the
I know exactly
in the draft, and then
that's what they need at this point.
There we go.
If you look at what they did, so in 2015 the Cowboys went 4-12, and then 2016 they drafted Zeke 4th and had Dak in the 4th round, and then that year they went 13-3.
Yeah, except they need their Zeke and Dak on the defensive side of the football.
Exactly. So,
and they also needed a new defensive coordinator because that's what I'm saying. That their talent on defense isn't that bad. Everson Griffin is good. Jalen Smith is a monster. Leighton Vander Esch is good. Their secondary is very bad.
Marcus Lawrence.
But their front seven
terrible.
But their front seven is really good. So they have talent.
They lost Byron Jones. They lost what's the other guy's name?
The last time their defensive coordinator was in the NFL, being a defensive coordinator, I forget what team it was.
Yeah,
it might have been Washington. Yeah, it might have been Washington.
Renicky brought in his old pal he coached with in Arizona back.
Yeah, but it might have been Washington. They were the 31st ranked defense in the entire NFL, and Mike McCarthy's like, "Oh, we should rehire this guy."
The best part about that is how Washington was like the last ranked offense, and then they marched right down the field on the Cowboys.
Well, yeah, because the Cowboys' defense is pitiful, so bad.
Funny.
Kyle Allen didn't look bad too either, though.
I know, right?
A team that did look.
Oh, Antonio
bad.
Gibson rushed for 100 yards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No one that we picked.
No.
But who did look bad down the stretch? Like always, the Atlanta Falcons. They just can't. They can't keep themselves.
It's so sad. They could easily have four wins.
They can't help themselves from.
How much were they up? They're only up by 1, but
they're up 6. They were up 6 with a minute left, and they didn't have to go into the end zone. They just had to kick the field goal, and they win.
Yeah.
They were down 16-14 with a couple minutes left. They drove down and scored a touchdown. Gurley pulled Penn State and fell into the end zone when he shouldn't have.
We'll get back to that, but
they were up 6. They scored a touchdown and went up.
No, they were down.
They were down
inside the 20, and they were just playing to kill the clock.
That's what I thought. You said they were up 6. You confused me.
They were up 6 after, and then Detroit drove right down the field with the last play with 0 seconds on the clock, and they scored a touchdown.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's sad. Poor Atlanta.
They can't.
Oh, it's funny. Poor Matt.
They can't help themselves. They can't help themselves from blowing leads. I don't understand. I don't understand what it is. It's sad.
I don't know. It's sad.
It's funny. It's actually funny.
It is funny. Between the Falcons and the Braves blowing the 3-1. Yeah.
And I
feel
bad. Know who I feel bad for? The Bengals. Poor Joe Burrow is balling. And that team cannot win a game. That team is they're not bad.
400 yards.
Their defense is the worst in the league.
Their defense stinks.
Question for you guys.
What?
Who's your rookie of the year right now? Herbert or Burrow?
Herbert.
Mine's Herbert.
Kind of
just because they're winning.
No, they're not. They have 2 wins. They have 1 more win. Burrow has a tie. They're basically equivalent.
Mine's Herbert right now. Mine's Herbert right now, but it's close. It's close. But no, to go back to the Falcons, what I thought was hilarious, I forget how much time was left, but were they on Fox or CBS? It doesn't matter. Fox, whatever. The Fox broadcast, as Matthew Stafford was driving down the field, showed Arthur Blank on the field on the Falcon sideline. I thought it was hilarious. I was like, no way he's on the field right now. They're gonna lose. It was hilarious.
That guy's a curse.
He was on the field on the sideline. I was like, no way.
Why does he do that? The guy's a brick. What a buffoon.
Oh my God. He's so I just found that absolutely hilarious. But anyways, one of the best games of the year, Seahawks, Cardinals. I didn't stay up
Cardinals
for
should
it.
be 7-0, and the Seahawks
Great
could easily
game.
be 3-3.
Okay, Brian, let's chill out. But
Great
Seahawks,
game though.
Seahawks are, I mean, this close.
the Cardinals
to being
7-0
0
though.
night.
They lost to the Lions.
They lost to a game they shouldn't have lost if they just didn't suck in those games. It's games that they should have won.
Well, if ands or buts, the Patriots should be 7-0 if they didn't suck in all their games.
Yeah,
you can play this game all day
They
long.
already had their bye, but
Whatever.
The Seahawks are.
You get what I'm
these
trying to
Sunday night
say.
games with Seattle,
They're
three
fun
of
to
their 6
watch.
games, they're insane.
Vikings,
they all come down to the
Vikings,
last play.
Cardinals, Pats,
Patriots. They all come down to the last play, and they all could have lost.
Except for yesterday for the Patriots.
No. I'm saying the
I'm not
Seahawks against
talking
the
about them.
Patriots, against the Vikings, against the Cardinals.
Oh, you're talking from the seat. Never mind.
All right. I don't know what the heck that was. But yeah, rip fantasy owners who were playing against Tyler Lockett.
Unless you're me, who put them on their bench.
Put him on. Yeah, nice job, man.
You would Tyler Lockett on your bench?
Well, when you think about it, who's gonna pop against the New York Jets? Stephon Diggs. But then I realized Josh Allen is the worst quarterback in the league.
Josh Allen sucks. That Bills team
they almost
sucks
lost.
too. That Bills team is not good.
They should have lost.
They're
They
not.
scored. They had 6 scoring drives, and they
Both of
had
those.
18 points. That is
Yeah.
so bad. That is so bad. That's like the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, they're terrible. Frauds.
If you're like
Big
me
time
and
frauds.
if you're like me and watched Red Zone, that early window was crazy. So we already
It
mentioned
was
the,
so
They
many
had
the
some
Lions,
crazy finishes.
the Browns against the Bengals.
Bengals, yep.
Baker, baby. I'm still not
Steelers,
sold on him. He
Titans.
stinks. Steelers, Titans. See, that's an AFC matchup that I wouldn't complain if that was the AFC Championship game. Those are two
I'm a
very,
big Titans
very
fan.
good teams.
Big
Big
Titans
Titans
fan.
guy. Big
Big
Titans.
Titans guy.
Just because it's Mike Vrabel.
Nah, it's just it's a likable team. There's no one on that team that I want to punch in the face. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I want to punch Claypool in the face. I want to punch Juju in the face. They're losers, right? They have that vibe
What
to
did
them.
Claypool do?
They the way they dance around and they're losers.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The Titans, they feel like a nice bunch of guys who are playing some good ball.
Wait, you don't like
Well, they
people
have-
dance the end zone? We have Cam Newton. He dances more than anyone.
I gained
No,
a
no,
lot of
no, no,
respect
it's-
for that team when they made their run in the playoffs last year.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
That was a
That's when I
fun
started
team to
liking them.
watch.
Because you want it as
just
soon as
so
they beat
fun.
the Pats, I was like, Titans all the way.
Exactly. And then they beat the Ravens. I'm just like,
And
wait.
that was when I
This
was a
can
big
happen.
Titans fan.
And
then
then
they
we
should
were
have
just,
they
and
should've
then
won.
we they
were up,
you know,
but they
yeah.
Mahomes.
Mahomes
Yeah.
was insane last year. So,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
Nothing.
Ryan Tannehill. I don't know how he's like a
MVP candidate.
after
I
all
don't
those-
get how
all
he's
those
good.
years in Miami. I mean, he was bad in Miami.
Because who did he
he was
have in
never-
Miami?
Nobody ever. But he was. If you
Exactly.
think about it, they were never
We had
that bad.
Landry. Landry was
They were.
bad.
They were a
Landry
couple
and
years
Devontae.
back. A couple years back, they were a 10-6 playoff team. They lost to Pittsburgh. They were usually 8-8. They weren't as bad as we thought they were since they've had I don't know who they have the last couple years.
They had Jay Cutler on a 1-year deal.
Oh yeah, Jay Cutler. They've had Rosen a couple times, a couple games, but not really. Who the heck has been their quarterback? Fitzpatrick this year.
Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick was last year.
But
had-
who was
they had
it?
Matt
Who was
Moore for
3
a
years
while.
ago? Matt Moore.
Matt-
yeah,
Matt
that's who
Moore.
it was.
Oh,
Yeah,
Tannehill.
yeah.
Tannehill was it 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what we were
except that was
talking
when-
about.
Since Tannehill.
Yeah, I know.
They've kind of had everybody.
Nick, maybe you should sit down. You got to gather yourself there, bud.
Yeah, they had Cutler, then they had Tannehill, then
mean?
Cutler, then went back to Tannehill for a year.
Yeah.
They also had
And then
Brock
it was-
Osweiler.
Oh, Brock
Oh,
Osweiler,
that clown.
poor guy.
Remember
He
that
went to the
clown?
Browns for he went to Houston for $72 million for 4
Yeah,
years.
so he's fine.
Yeah.
He was trash, but
and
hey,
then
you got
Cleveland,
plenty of
bought
money.
him- Cleveland bought him out, and then they were like, "No, you stink." He was too
And he-
bad for
Yeah.
Cleveland.
Classic. I feel bad for him because the one play he's going to be known for is giving the concussion protocol guy a concussion with his terrible throw out of bounds.
No, I remember It was a Sunday night game against Denver, and like Chris Collinsworth was like Brock
That's what it
Osweiler's been
was.
throwing the ball. It was that game though. He was like he's been throwing the ball good today, and
Oh yeah.
the next play Patrick Chung took it to the house on a pick six, throwing like right to his chest.
But I mean, they won that game. The Broncos won that game. Yeah, they did. They won in overtime,
They were
right?
decent.
On a long. It was like a long toss.
I remember
play.
that.
Yeah.
DJ Anderson.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Wow.
28 yards or 25 yards
Freaking
or whatever.
Denver. We suck against Denver.
Yeah, I don't know why.
So.
But yeah, that's it for football. I think we covered everything. Last night was also the World Series, and the Dodgers are 1 win away. Snell against bullpen.
I hope they do.
Well, Snell against bullpen tomorrow. I hope the Rays win because then that'll set up a magical Game 7 between Buehler and Moore. That is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think it's going to go 7, but I still think LA is going to hold on and win. Obviously, I don't want them to, but it's going to happen. I think it's just,
But Morton Buehler would be
such a go in Game 7s.
But Buehler has been lights out in the playoffs.
Yeah,
lights out.
I just want the Dodgers to. Choke.
I do too. That'd be funny. I also want
Dave Roberts.
I also want people to. I also want people to chill out with the Mookie stuff. That's all they're talking about is how bad Mookie. Did you see Dave Roberts' quote? Someone asked him about the Mookie trade, and he said, "We got a steal." I was like, yeah, no duh."
You got that
really?
That's playing the league.
Did you?
Like what?
Did you get a
second
steal?
best player?
Oh, best player in the MLB.
Second best player. Second best player.
No, close.
Mike Trout. Top 2 in
stats are
MVP voting every single year.
Equivalent.
Mike Trout, top 2 MVP voting every single year, except for one where he was 4th. In that 4th year, he led the league in slugging percentage and WAR. So,
guys, we're not denying Trout. It's just like at some point he's got to figure out his crap and shouldn't have signed that 14-year deal with the Angels and try and maybe make the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know why he did that, but talent's there. But that's a discussion.
It's close. The stats are literally identical. Just take away some home runs because obviously they're not the same kind of power.
Obviously,
hitter.
Trout's more.
Mookie's average is higher. RBIs is about the same. Mookie's WAR is about 2 to 3 points higher. It's
obviously he leads the league in runs every year. So
yeah, it's an absolute unit.
Marcus Lynn, best player in the league.
Second best, but doesn't matter.
It's close.
That's beside the fact.
It's a coin flip.
Look, if it doesn't matter, stop mentioning it.
No, because you guys are wrong. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. All right.
The NBA draft is soon. November 19th, 18th. November 18th. Celtics have this.
Oh, so bad. It's so bad.
Trading all the Pacers.
Trading all 3, Hayward and Rob Will, for Turner and Oladipo. That would be the ideal situation. But there have been reports.
Seriously.
There have been reports that Hayward may not pick up his extension. That would not be good.
No, there's no way he wouldn't.
But Horford didn't pick up his, and he went to the Sixers.
But Hayward knows if they trade him to Indiana, he knows he's going to re-sign there anyways because he already has a house there, and that's where he's from. But there's no way he doesn't. The guy's making $35 million this year. There is no way he does not.
I also think.
Go ahead, Andrew.
I also think that he will because I feel like the Pacers, if they know that they're gonna get him, they probably would want to so that they can get him in a trade so that they get something because they know that Oladipo is gonna walk. So if you could package picks also with him, then
we'll give him.
I'll
give him our first round picks are worthless in this draft. Absolutely,
exactly. Everything after
as
the
we
top
say this now, and there's gonna be 3 absolute studs that come out of those picks. But
we really don't know because there was no March Madness to gauge how good
That's
these
what I'm
guys
saying.
are.
I don't know what any of these guys are. I couldn't.
Well, I know a few Obi
Toppin.
Toppin. He won Player of the Year. LaMelo, obviously. Tyrese Maxey is good, but he's going to be a lottery
Anthony
pick.
Edwards. There's some
Anthony
of these
Edwards.
Wiseman.
James
but,
Wiseman, he's like, but outside of the top 10, I'm being generous here. Who is there?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So shoot, goodbye.
We would have a better
We'll take players in return.
well yeah, we
that we
would have a
know are
better
good.
idea if there was a
March
season
Madness.
or an end to
Yeah.
the season because they did play most of
These
the regular
lads haven't
season.
played in like 10 months.
I know.
Exactly.
8
But
months.
again, there's also the third report that's been a little bit more quiet. I've seen it just a little bit. They have been working out some draft prospects, so there is talk about them trading up. So
There's no
I don't
way to trade
know.
up. Why would they trade up? Like, what are they trading up for?
I don't know.
Like,
If you're
I
not
don't know what they
trading
see,
up for
like,
top 5, then it's
I
useless.
think they might.
That's what I'm
I think they
saying.
might. I think if they consider trading up, be trading up for a center like Wiseman, which is the
how the
position
hell
they
are they going
lack.
to trade up to like a top 3 pick? What are they trading for that?
Yeah,
I don't
seriously,
know.
who are they going to
I
get
don't know.
rid of?
I don't know, but
or who are they going to give up?
It'd be like 3 picks in
I
Brown,
just figured
which
if
I would
they're-
not do at all.
If I
We'll
figure,
take the house, please.
I figure if they're working out, okay. I figure if they're working out players, they probably working out James Wiseman because they might want him because he's a center. And
They
need
worked
center.
out
They don't
LaMelo
need-
like a few weeks
the guard-
ago
they
for
don't-
some reason.
They don't need
'Cause
guards.
he's gonna
they don't
slip
need,
'cause
they
he
don't really
sucks.
need forwards. They need a center.
He's won on like every
Like, yeah, better
mock
center
draft
than
though.
James
And he's
Wiseman.
terrible.
I know he
I don't
is.
know.
I don't.
I don't know. That's why you just trade for Turner. Just do it. Guys on a friendly deal for like next like 3
Turner
years.
and
do it.
Oladipo. That would be. It would be.
Oh,
Yes,
It would be.
please.
It would be
Turner
Kemba,
and Oladipo.
Kemba, Oladipo,
Kemba, Vic, Brown, Tatum, Turner. Oh,
and even
And
well,
then
even if
Tice
you,
and Smart
even
off
if
the bench.
well, that's what I'm
Smart,
saying.
Tice,
Even if you wanted
Grant.
to, you could do Kemba, Brown, Tatum, Tice at the 4, Turner at the center with Oladipo and Smart coming off the bench.
That would be a huge.
I
Our
don't know.
lineup would be like huge.
Yeah.
Like, guys are,
Yeah, I know,
other
and
than
that's good.
Kemba, for certain situations. But end game, like none of those guys are gonna be like. Tice will just get fouls. The poor guy, like he'll foul out.
I know. He'll foul out getting 15 minutes on the bench as
Yeah,
a 6
but
man.
now this year, if they make that trade, that's fine because they have
Tice would be an
Miles
absolute
Turner.
beast. Oof.
I feel like Tice should be a backup anyways.
He
not
is
just
a back.
because
He's
of
not a
his
starting center. Yeah.
exactly. He should be a backup, and that's not just because of his fouling instances.
It's his
It's
size.
the fact
he's
that
too
he's
small.
yeah, exactly. He's as tall as
I would
Jason
want to
Tatum.
try and keep Rob Will. Would you, if they took Romeo? Would you do that?
Yeah,
Yes.
100%. But
because I think that
I'd be
Rob
fine with
Will's
shipping off
ceiling
Rob Will.
is much higher. But
Yeah.
if they have to do it, then whatever we're getting.
Rob Will is honestly I compare Rob Will and Miles Turner really well. They both block shots. Rob Will's a little bit more athletic. Turner hits more of his threes, so there's a trade-off between both of them. Like there's more upside with Rob Will.
If we
He's
could
more
keep
athletic.
Rob Will, I would try to.
But they don't need
Yeah,
three
if you
centers.
can, then definitely keep him. But I mean, if it means
Yeah,
you get
no,
Miles
if-
Turner and Victor
No, if you have
Oladipo in return,
if you have
then
Rob
you kind of
Will,
have to.
Turner, and Tice, that's basically Tice,
If you need
Cantor,
3
and
centers.
Poirier,
Well, Cantor's also definitely going to
and
come
Rob
back.
Will. They had 3 centers this year.
They had
I guess.
Cantor, Tice, and Rob Will, and then Poirier
guess.
saw the floor like
Poirier,
twice.
like,
Poirier
why?
doesn't count.
Why?
Poirier doesn't count.
Nick's enjoying this conversation.
Yeah, of course.
But
Why would I care about this conversation? I'm not a Celtics fan. It's
Nick,
like,
how are the Lakers looking headed into next season?
Yeah, he's just gonna show his hat.
they look. I don't know. They look fine. They're the same team. Like I don't. There's
But
nothing.
did
There's
you
nothing
sign,
new
like,
in
a
LA.
bunch,
There's nothing new in
a
Boston.
bunch of
But I don't.
your a bunch of your terrible
Yeah,
players other than the
unimportant
2 on
players,
your
like,
team?
Like Rondo's on 1 year, Morris is on 1 year, McGee's on 1 year. Like these are guys like McGee didn't play a minute on game
Well,
one.
Rondo might go back to the
And
Celtics. That's
Rondo,
a report.
Yeah.
Isaiah
I don't care
Thomas.
about Rondo does. I don't care about Rondo.
I
What's
kinda care
Avery
about
Bradley
Rondo.
on?
And
Because I take him back too.
No, I wouldn't. Avery Bradley.
Avery Bradley's on a 1 year.
Oh yeah, would you
Bradley
not have
won
him
one
be like your 8th after bench, Luke?
No,
Like,
I
the
would
Lakers
not.
are going to
He's a
resign
great
Avery.
defender.
Lakers are going to
He's a
keep
good
Bradley.
defender.
They like him.
I would much rather have Rondo though.
No,
Or
that's what
Isaiah
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, but defensively, a lineup of take out, say, Kemba and Tatum, a defensive lineup that they could
Tatum's
throw
a good
out
defender.
of fine.
Tatum's a good defender.
He's a fine defender, but Oladipo, Smart, Miles Turner, Jaylen Brown, and Rob Will.
Rob Will's kind of
Double
can block,
center.
He's a little slow.
Center's obsolete position.
athleticism.
The game is more transition. Center's obsolete now.
Yeah.
Becoming more double centers won't
I don't know.
work.
I just want when
This
does free
game's becoming
agency
more
open up?
centers.
Is it after the draft technically, or like
What does
when
free agency?
trades or like trades?
I don't
When is
know.
it?
I honestly
like
don't
when
know.
can
It's-
Tatum sign his max? Like right, he can sign that like whenever now. I think.
Yes. I don't know what.
Well,
Is
I
he
don't
getting
even
an
know.
extension
The
or is
whole-
he a free
No,
agent?
wait,
What am I
Brian.
missing
No,
here?
well, no,
Brian.
he has 2 years left, but he's getting the super max.
Brian,
Yeah.
trades obviously have to happen before the draft because like if we're gonna give up
Yeah,
3
but,
first round
like,
picks,
I know.
then obviously it has to happen before the draft.
Yeah,
But
but I'm
they're
like,
open whenever.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
They're
like
always
when does
open, except when the
re-signing
season
start?
hits a
I
deadline.
have no idea.
I have no idea. The whole year is
I
like
bet you it
so
starts
thrown
when the
off.
season ends.
Yeah, it's just weird.
I'm liking the
I bet you it
pre-Christmas
starts when the
start
season
though.
ends.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's
I'm liking
huge.
it.
That would be so much better. They're finally like realizing, oh, we can't play a full season. We have to get back
Yeah.
on schedule. Guys
I
want to play in the
guarantee you
Olympics.
I guarantee you the Lakers or not the Lakers, the players hate it though. They're literally gonna have no rest at all, no time off. Well, actually, that's not
the teams
true.
like that played the extra games, like the Lakers and the
Well,
playoff teams and the Heat.
That's what I'm saying. The playoff teams that went
No.
far are gonna have no rest. Those teams, like I don't know,
The Golden
Hawks,
State
the
Warriors.
Warriors. Oh,
You're
the
telling
Warriors are gonna
me,
be so
dude?
good.
No, it doesn't.
Golden State's gonna be
it-
great this year.
They're
it
gonna be
doesn't
so
really-
good.
It doesn't really
They're
matter.
gonna be
like,
amazing.
Yeah, they're gonna be
tell
better
me
than the Lakers.
the teams who played are
They
going
might
to
just
be
be better than the Lakers.
way better off in December than any team who hasn't played since March. Getting
no, I
getting
know,
2.5
but
months off is plenty of time. Like, what are they? They're not doing
Yeah.
anything. Like,
No, I understand, but it's
Well, they're
just
staying in shape.
a quick turnaround.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
quicker
So-
turnaround than they're
so-
used to. That's
Yeah,
all I'm
well,
saying. It's a quicker turnaround than they're used
They
to. But
also
yeah,
don't get the
the
summer league. They
Warriors,
don't get teams don't get the summer league and all that they usually get. So
the
That's the
Warriors
weird
coming.
thing.
the younger
The
players.
Summer
draft
league,
will
yeah.
happen, and then 4 weeks later, these guys are playing. Like,
That's
Yeah,
that's
so that's
crazy.
gonna affect the teams that got the top. Like the Warriors, I think they're gonna go off and whoever they draft. I think their best pick should be Wiseman, but I don't know who they're gonna
Yeah,
take. I can't
Wiseman.
predict what's gonna happen. But whatever
also-
rookie they get is gonna they're not gonna get able to see, and it's hard. It's gonna be tough for them to see enough of them like against NBA talent ish. Like they won the summer league. So that's gonna be
I don't know
tough.
if they should trade it or draft, but I don't know who they would trade it for. Embiid
Draft.
is the only Embiid's the only one that would
That's what I
that would
said.
come to mind. They would have to. It would probably
Wiggins.
have to be. It would
I
probably
say you
have
chop
to
Wiggins with
be.
your first round pick for Embiid.
It would also have to be another
Wiggins in
first,
the
like a
first
later
pick.
first, but
think?
it would
a
have to be.
future,
No,
a future
Here's the thing:
first.
Yeah,
Golden
future
State's got
first.
leverage against the Golden State's got leverage against the Sixers. They're saying, look, you can get a replacement center and Wiseman likely, and we'll give you a scoring
They wouldn't draft.
forward.
They wouldn't draft
In
Wiseman. They
return,
would draft.
you give us
They would.
Lamelo.
in return you give us Joel Embiid on his expiring
Honestly,
contract. Like he's got 1 year left on his contract. They have Golden State can use that as leverage. It's an expiring contract. Like you're not getting Embiid's walking after the season ends. It doesn't matter
Yeah,
how well
he's
you
on
guys
the
do.
clearance rack. That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying-
Like, they need to get.
That's what I've been
this is
saying.
when
These types of
when it comes
guys,
down to
when
it,
you
this
know
is the
they're
best
gonna
player you're
leave, it's like being on the clearance rack. You're
It's
for
like, this is the-
sale, 40% off, absolute
There
bargain.
you go.
It's just like shopping on
Like,
Black
that's the best you're gonna
Friday.
get.
It's gonna be perfect. Also,
So-
Luke,
The
going
longer
back,
he stays,
Luke,
the less cheap he gets.
going back to what you were saying about how you like the start and how some people might not like it. I don't know if you saw on Bleacher Report, but they just had a post about an hour ago where Danny Green said, I think most guys, if they said we start in December, I think they're like, I'm not going to be there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It's-
Danny Green hurts the team.
Well, yeah, Danny Green has like Danny Green has like no,
He can
has
take
no
that
has no
say
say.
20%
in-
shooting.
He has
Yeah,
no say.
exactly.
He can take that.
But that's
he
just
can take that 20%
that's just an
three-point
example
shot.
of
Danny
yeah.
Green can take his 20% three-pointers with him to Cancun and miss the year. I don't give a rat's ass. I'm fine with what we have. I don't care about
yeah.
Danny Green. He's the last of my concerns.
soy can.
No, so I can. The only reason I would say, going back to what I said,
Why would they not be there? Do they want to play? Or do they not want to play? Like, what's
Or just the
NBA
Lakers.
players
They
are
always
the
bitch.
most stuck-up,
The Lakers-
annoying athletes
the Lake-
on the face of
No,
the earth.
NFL running backs. NFL running backs.
facts?
Oh,
Lakers-
don't
That's
get me
actually true.
started.
That's
oh
actually
my
true.
God.
Everyone on the Lakers bitch for no reason. So it's like, it doesn't even matter. Like everyone on the Lakers is going to complain about
They
this
think
for
they're
some
so
reason. I don't-
entitled.
Zeke gets paid and
Like-
he fumbles every other carry. Like, come on, guy. What are you doing? Running backs
going
piss
back
me
to-
off.
facts.
Going
Piss
back to
me
what's going to happen
off.
with going back to what's going to happen with Joel Embiid. I think the Warriors pick, I think I wouldn't be shocked if they trade that pick in Wiggins to the Sixers, because Andrew said, no, you're getting Embiid at 40% off. And the longer they wait with Embiid, the less, the cheaper he's going to get. So
Exactly. It's like a store going out of business. The percent off just keeps on rising the closer it is for going out of business. Like it starts at 25, then it goes up to 90. Like just get them soon so you make more profit.
If you're the Golden State GM, you're saying, you explain a situation to Philly. Look, your best player is on his last year of his contract and he doesn't want to be there. I'm giving you a first-round pick so you can redraft a center to replace him, and you're getting a scoring forward. This is the best you're going to get. Like, there's no reason to decline this offer. You're not going to get a better offer.
I also say that they don't draft Wiseman if they get that third pick. They either trade up to
They don't need a guard.
A shooter. They do. They need a shooter. Ben Simmons. They don't need another big. Wiseman can't shoot. With Wiseman, if they draft Wiseman, it's Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons 2.0 all over again. They don't want that.
Two guards. There's 2 guards and a center in the top 3 picks, so they can choose whichever one they want. They're
gonna need Edwards.
They're gonna get better either way.
They're gonna need Edwards, who can shoot on the perimeter. So Ben Simmons has a lane to drive.
Well,
plus he
Doc
needs
Rivers
a shooter
wants
to kick out.
LaMelo Ball.
Well, Harris can shoot. I mean, I think
I don't know why.
Well, they're also they'd also be getting
Tobias
a shooter
Harris.
They'd also be getting a shooter in Wiggins, so that would also help with the perimeters. I mean,
Wiggins isn't that much of a shooter. He doesn't shoot that much. He's more of a driver. He drives to the hoop a lot more.
He can score. It doesn't matter. I mean, I think if the top 3 pick is there's 2 guards and that can both shoot, and there's a center that can't shoot. Either way, the Sixers need help in center at the center position. If they get rid of Embiid, and they're gonna need shooters. So either way, I think they're getting better.
Either way, it sucks, and they're gonna choke again. And quick interruption, change of topic. I mean, this is never gonna leave me. I'm always gonna be forever disappointed. Cole Kmet just absolutely mossed a guy. He's looking like an absolute beast.
That ship has sailed.
It's truly disappointing that we went with the Division II safety that we did not need, who was stinking inactive, a healthy scratch. And this guy is freaking beasting, and we don't have a tight end. Really disappointing.
There was a healthy scratch last game. Who's been playing strong safety?
Duggar plays like 10 snaps a game.
Yeah, he doesn't even play.
He doesn't play. He's not good.
Who's been starting at strong safety? Jones?
Jones is a quarter. Jones
or was it
McCourty?
And then
I don't even know.
Brooks.
It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, Brooks.
And Phillips.
Oh, that's right, Phillips. I forgot about Phillips. He's a beast.
Duggar does not play. You see him on the field when there was you see Duggar on the field
there was no buzz when we signed Phillips. I'm like, this guy's good. This guy is he's a good safety. And no one's talking about this. This is one of the better moves in the offseason the Pats made, getting Phillips.
Well, they're also 2-4, so that shows you how good it was.
Yeah,
but Phillips has like a couple of picks this year and a couple of good sacks. Like he's been a bright spot in a very dark season for the first 6 games.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Quickly, we'll do our stat selections. We're going back to just picking games. Who wants to go first
in last this week?
Who's
in
last this week?
Standings. Brian is now in last with 14 points. Nick is no longer in last.
Yeah, Nick. You all laughed at me.
Woo! 15.
And tied with Andrew.
Tied with Andrew for 15.
Tied for second. Move all the way
Tied for second. And then Luke in first with 21 points. And
I've had a couple of rough weeks.
So who wants to go first?
Me. I've been on a roll going first. I'm going to continue.
Fine. We'll go. We'll go. What we usually do: Nick, Brian, Andrew, me. First one. I already know which way Nick's going to go with this one because he's picked them 2 weeks in a row and they've worked out for him. Steelers, Ravens.
I love Pittsburgh, but Deontay Johnson is going to be really highly questionable for this game. I'm going to go with the Ravens.
I don't know if that's a deal breaker, but it doesn't matter.
Not at all.
Brian.
The lack of receivers against a strong defense is really
lack of receivers.
Yeah, they're not going to have Deontay. They're only going to have Claypool and Juju, which is they're still good, but you'd rather have Deontay.
And Eric Ebron.
They also have Eric Ebron, so whatever.
It doesn't matter, Brian.
I think
that's my reason. So deal with
it. I hate both teams. Like I deeply hate both teams. I really hate Lamar Jackson. Like I don't think he's good at football, like at all. So I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh just because I want them to lose. That's why
you're in last place, because you hate players.
I want that, but Lamar sucks. He's not good. So yeah, I'll go with Pittsburgh.
Q.
Well, I picked Tennessee last week, didn't work out. The Pittsburgh Steelers have finally proven to have. I've finally admitted that they are absolutely nasty. Their defense is top 2 or 3. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh.
I'm going the Ravens. Steelers have only played one team over 500 this year, and that was last week against Tennessee. Granted, they won, but Tennessee had a terrible first half. I think the Ravens defense is very good as well, and I'm going to say this for the third week in a row. It didn't work the first 2 weeks. Hopefully, it works this week. I can't see the Steelers being undefeated
Yes, facts.
after this week. I said it 2 weeks
Sound
in a
like a
row. I'm
broken
saying it
record.
again. Yeah, I'm saying it again. Hopefully, it works this time. I don't even know. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Next game, Niners Seahawks. Nick, who do we have out of that one?
Seattle's been fantastic offensively, so I'm gonna take them. I don't think the Niners have. It's gonna be a shootout when you play Seattle. I don't think the Niners have
They don't
quite
have
the
that.
offensive weapons that the Seattle does to compete. So I'm gonna take Seattle.
Brian.
It'll be close, probably. Seattle's defense is kind of terrible, and Jimmy Garoppolo just doesn't really know how to throw the football. He can only do like a little swing route to a running back. I saw this last week. That in the game prior to the Pats, he had like 280 something passing yards, but only 40 of those were passing yards. The rest were all after the catch. He doesn't throw the football down the field. The only time he did is interception. So he'll mess up a couple times. Seattle will bounce back, and they'll win by like 15.
Andrew.
Yeah, I think that you need to score at least 35 to beat Seattle, and San Fran just doesn't look like they can do that. So Seattle.
I'm also going Seattle. Clean sweep for Seattle. They're not, after losing that tough game, I don't think that they're going to lose 2 in a row. They have had a bunch of close games to not so great teams. I mean, I can call the Patriots a not so great team because they're 2-4, and the Vikings are 1-6, 1-5. And they almost lost to them. So they're looking shaky, but the Niners are also, I'm not sold on the Niners. They lost to the Eagles earlier this year, if we remember. So that should tell you something about them.
Dolphins.
Yeah,
and yes,
the Dolphins.
with Jimmy G too. They lost to the Eagles without Jimmy G, and then with Jimmy G, they lost to the Dolphins.
Didn't Jimmy G get benched? Pretty sure.
Maybe. Who knows? Cam got benched.
Yeah, I think he did.
Cam got benched, which is.
I wouldn't say Cam got
tough.
benched. Bills, they were giving Stidham reps. Like, he wasn't benched. There was no reason to play him.
Whatever. Regardless. That leads us into the last one. Nick, Bills, Pats. Who do we have here?
God.
This is going to be interesting.
Regardless of who's ever been on the Patriots, they have won 6 Super Bowl rings and have the best record in football when I've been in Framingham to watch them play. And since I've been to Penn State, they're 2-4. I'm coming back home this weekend. I expect to win. New England.
Yeah. All right, Brian.
Patriots, I know this was Brady. They're 32-3 against the Bills in the last 20 years or whatever it is. Buffalo, I've said it many times. They are the biggest, with them and the Bears, the biggest frauds in the league. The Pats, if they figure out how to not be stupid and maybe play football the correct way, they'll win by multiple scores. So Josh Allen sucks. Buffalo kind of sucks. And big win for the Pats. You can count a win on Sunday as them getting back to 4-4. So just like that, they're back to 500.
Because then they play the Jets. So
because they play the Jets.
I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills.
Ooh. He's looking for the point.
Yeah, I'm looking for the point because they're gonna win.
He's got to do the opposite of what I do because we're tied.
The Patriots, they're 2-4, but they're gonna win. Let's see, they're gonna win the next 10 games. They're gonna win 10 in a row. They're gonna get the 1 seed, and then they're gonna go, and then they're just gonna go all the way to the Super Bowl. Obviously,
if they win the next 10 games,
Bills by 40. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh wow!
Bills by 10.
If New England wins the next 10 games, and it's because I've been home, I'm not coming back to college ever. I'm staying home during football season.
Okay,
I don't think that has anything to do with it, Nick.
Yeah, I don't think so. They're like, oh,
he's
Bill
not
Belichick's
superstitious. He's just a little
Bill Belichick. Oh yeah, Nick Parga's back in Framingham. Oh, we're gonna win this week. All right, let's go.
It's like the Buffalo Wild Wings commercial where they press the button. It's just like, we're going overtime.
2-4 with me. 2-4 with me out of town. Best record in football. 6 rings with me in town. Regardless of who's on the team, I gotta take the Pats. Like I gotta come back to town.
I can't,
Come on,
I can't
best
bet
record.
against them.
Best record
Speaking
in
of-
football when I've been in
speaking
town.
of-
Come on, man.
Speaking of Buffalo Wild Wings commercials, I'm definitely naming my child Honey Barbecue, 100%. Have you guys seen that commercial where they're like,
Boneless honey barbecue wings.
no, the
Love it.
commercial where they name children after Buffalo Wild Wing sauces?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Classic.
Anyways, we're going to our last one, clown bag of the week.
Luke, you didn't even make your
Throwback.
pick. Did you make your pick,
buddy.
Luke?
Look, did you make your
Presented
pick,
by
guy?
no one. I picked the Patriots. Everyone else went with the
that means the
Patriots
Bills
for
are gonna win.
Brian or for Andrew. That's a safe pick. That's why I'm on first.
Not because we're Patriots fans.
And the Bills only won by 8 to the Jets.
Fully unbiased opinion.
The Bills suck.
Mine is unbiased. Brian and Nick's might not be, but mine is unbiased.
Mine's superstitious. Ryan's biased. I'm superstitious. Luke's unbiased. That's how it's gonna go. Andrew just wants the point.
Clown bag of the week goes to there are again multiple
always
candidates
is.
here. First one was we'll go in chronological order. Daniel Jones on Thursday night got sniped out of the
Yikes.
air.
Multiple snipes.
375 to the
Sniper!
dome.
Yep.
Poor guy.
Oh, speaking of sniped, who listened to Kevin Kiermaier's interview
yes,
after
yes,
he
I
said
heard
he
that.
said yeah
he said
a-
Rosarita got sniped, and I started laughing.
that was so funny.
that was awesome.
Hilarious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yes, Daniel Jones. I mean, they did score. Nick, it was funny. Shut up. Yes, Daniel Jones. They eventually scored, so I guess it's not that terrible, but
In
it
the
still
best,
looks
no,
stupid.
see, it's bad, but it's not terrible because he he ran faster than Lamar Jackson has all year. So boom, he's better. Lamar sucks.
Really? Is that true? His
Yeah,
top speed
he
is
reached
higher than
20.
His top
he reached
speed was
22
insane.
miles per hour, or something like that.
Yeah, that's
He's
Wow.
only too
DK
fast
speed.
for his body.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like DK Metcalf. speed.
Bubble,
Oh,
bubble,
I
bubble,
want to
bubble,
bring that
bubble.
up. I want to bring that up because that was
DK.
absolutely inhuman.
DK's
fact that he
Yeah.
chase down.
He chased down a
10
21 mile per hour runner.
10 yards
running.
behind too. He was 10 yards. It wasn't like he just beat him like in a sprint. Like 10 yards
He could have
behind
tackled him
Like,
way earlier too.
seriously.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He was just
Oh,
like,
I'm
I'm going to
not-
catch up
I'm
to
not-
you.
Yeah,
I'm giving him all. I'm not taking any credit away. That was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
that looked
It's
like
not
where he
that
tackled.
looked
That
like
was unbelievable.
Julio out there, because obviously he's known for chasing down guys. So, I mean, they're kind of both the same. Just
Yeah, because Matt
huge,
Ryan throws a bunch
fast
of picks because he
monsters.
sucks.
Oh wow, that Cole
He's a
Kmet
bad
catch
for the
was
lad.
pretty nasty.
Cole Kmet's freaking nasty. He should be on the freaking Patriots. He's like,
It wasn't that nasty.
Yeah.
The defender's head was turned around and it was a linebacker. Whatever. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Also,
Okay, clown bag of the
speaking
week.
of the Falcons, Todd Gurley.
Well, that's
going
that.
chronological.
He's the last. Chronologically, it's next. The next one is Devin Ford, Penn State's running back. Now, I guarantee you, 98% of whoever's listening to this, which 98% is probably like 4 listeners, aren't going to care about this or aren't going to know what we're talking about. But Penn State football, we were all just watching it because why not? And Devin Ford scored, and Indiana came down, forced overtime, and ended
That
up
was
winning
awesome.
on a touchdown. On a touchdown.
was a touchdown.
It wasn't a
It
touchdown.
was
It's called
a
a two.
touchdown.
It's called a successful try.
Okay,
That's what
whatever.
drive.
He
Let-
was
oh, we're not
in
gonna
the
get
end
into this.
zone.
We're
I
not
don't
going to
think
get
so.
into this. That's not important. The important thing is that Devin Ford lost the game by scoring a touchdown. He
Only
lost by doing
in
his
the
job.
year.
I think that's
only in the
hilarious.
year
I would say
2020.
your clown bag kicker freaking who missing 25-yard field goals and
Yeah.
guy freaking bum.
Not my kicker, because I'm not
Bro,
responsible for
only
him.
just think about it. Only in 2020 will somebody score a touchdown and it is bad for your team.
Twice.
Twice
Twice,
in the same
twice.
week.
Todd Gurley.
Twice in the
I love
span of about
seeing Jamie Collins jump up
24
and down.
hours.
Like, woohoo!
Not even
So you know
24
what?
hours because that Penn State game ended early and Todd Gurley was in the early window. So like I don't even know.
Yeah. Like
15
17
hours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
15, 17 hours.
That,
Only in 2020
run
will that
by
happen.
Ford. Let me tell you what happened here at Penn State. So when I go to Penn State, just coincidentally, I happen to go
Wait,
to Penn
actually?
State.
Wait, Nick goes to
Clown bag
Penn
of the week.
State since when? Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
I know.
Go to the presses.
It's crazy, right? It's crazy. It's insane.
Wait, so does wait, no,
so-
no.
Shut up. So the entire
Man, I'm dead.
the entire campus literally hates him. No, it's not even funny.
That actually
half of them
sucks.
probably don't even have
This
the
guy
competence to
sucks.
realize they're like, oh my
Yeah.
god, everyone's mad at him, so I guess I'm in too.
No, I do. So I'm not mad at the guy. He was doing his job.
How about
Obviously,
the
fell in
defense
the end
doesn't
zone.
commit like
I'm mad
three
at the fact that
15-yard
Penn
penalties?
And as I'm saying this, I'm like outside a football facility right now. This is pretty funny. I'm mad that Penn State literally was neck and neck with this team, and they couldn't do anything offensively for the first half. Like it was unbelievable. Total yards in the first quarter. Indiana had like 30 something, and Penn State had like 100 something, and it was 7-0. Like, how does that happen?
Nick, watch out! There's a bear behind you.
There's not.
Ah, gotcha.
Why would I care if there's a bear behind me?
Because the
Just
last time
kick
you
its
were
butt.
walking around,
There was a bear
Penn
on
State, there was
campus.
a
That's
bear.
not my fault. It's not my fault.
I didn't say it was your fault. I just said there's a bear behind you.
There's not a bear behind me.
Anyways, that much
There's a bear-
stuck.
there's a
To
bear
go back
behind
to
me, I'll kick
campus
its
and
butt.
everyone hates you.
No, so it was so funny. They were there. It's like known here, I guess. Apparently, some senior told me that the football team gets like Sunday practice off, and like when they win, they like do like they throw like huge parties
Nick
like at their
talks to
houses.
seniors.
Can I continue?
Yes.
So I'm doing a walk on Saturday,
Uh,
and my usual walk is like I go by the football facility and then past Beaver Stadium. But it's like known that like when Penn State wins, the players do like parties at their house, at their frat houses and wherever the hell they live. I don't know where they live. They had practice on Sunday.
Yeah,
So I was like,
dang, that's tough.
because they just blew it to. I mean, I think everyone's
Indiana.
making a big deal about it because Indiana is actually now ranked and they were only 6-point underdogs.
And Penn
but
State was
still.
8th in the country.
Yeah, but no, don't look at the standings. Look at the fact that Indiana was 6-point underdogs. They were just outside of the rankings. Like, who cares what Penn State's 8th in the country? They were 6-point underdogs. So they were just probably out of the rankings. So it could very well have been a ranked game, two teams both ranked. But
Okay, but
they
they're
still
not
lost.
top
I'm
10.
I'm not defending the team. They still lost. I don't really care. I don't have the school spirit yet, so I don't really. I was kind of laughing when they blew it.
I know.
So
he was short, 100%.
We're not going to get
Doesn't
into
matter.
it.
Yeah,
We could talk about that for like 7 hours.
Yeah.
So we're just going to move on.
we're never going to come to an agreement. It was too close to play.
We're gonna move on to the end. Last thoughts.
Todd Gurley is also bad.
Todd Gurley is also bad from Andrew.
And also, go Celtics, Miles Turner, Victor.
Here's why I think Todd Gurley should be the solo clown back. Daniel Jones, they ended up scoring on that drive. Devin Ford is like the third string running back for a college team. Todd Gurley is a starting running back for a professional football team that did that. And they ended up losing. Like, I think that's
how he like tries to.
I also think that it's funny because
I
the
loved it because
irony
he's on my fantasy team.
it's the irony.
Yeah, that is true.
Same with me.
That
Same
is
with
true.
Me. I think it's the irony that's Atlanta. And that's the irony.
I know, poor Atlanta.
No, not poor Atlanta. Screw Atlanta.
Yeah.
And you
Screw
could say their Atlanta's other team, Atlanta's college team is Georgia Tech. They got absolutely smacked by BC.
Wouldn't their college team be Nope. never
Did they
mind.
lose
Georgia's in
73-7
Athens.
against Clemson too?
Yep. The back of their helmets say Atlanta. It's really weird, but they do.
That
so.
is weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Andrew, that's his last thought. Brian, Nick, last thoughts.
See you on Saturday or Sunday, Nick.
Suck it, Brian. You're in last place.
What about me?
Oh yeah, you too, Andrew. Well, I've seen you. You've been
Fine.
around.
I'll reiterate.
Big-
Suck it, Brian. You're in last place.
Big Four reunion Saturday.
Yes, sir. Live show.
Live show. We
Why
should do a live
not?
show.
Maybe. Look out for that.
We'll
whoever's
think about
listening to this.
Think about
If you've made it this far, then congrats. Pat yourself on the back.
Congratulations. 20 episodes. Listen to us talk about
20th
nonsense.
episode.
20. Woo-hoo-hoo.
A fifth away to 100. Yeah.
Who would have thought? Not me.
Yeah, I can't
would've
believe we're
thought.
still going. I can't believe we haven't been discouraged by our 2 fans. But, we're still
Our
going
goal was
strong.
under like an
Positive.
hour.
Our goal is for under an hour. We're probably like approaching.
Brian's like, let's do a less
3.
than an hour podcast, and we're like close to like.
It's
close
all
to,
right.
like, an
It's all
hour
right.
5.
It's all right. We're wrapping up right now. Thank you guys for listening. Go follow our Instagram and Twitter at the Big 4 _ podcast. Yes, our Twitter, because we're going to start doing that more because I don't know who knows, for fun, whatever. We have nothing to do.
For
Also,
kicks.
check out our YouTube. I always say that after every
Thursday.
episode, and we still have 10 subscribers, so that clearly shows that no one listens to the end of the episode, or you're just all lazy to subscribe. But whatever, it doesn't matter.
Let's say at the beginning, middle, and end next time.
Fine, deal.
Like it's our ad reads. We can ad read.
Yeah, there you go.
Ad
Also on
read,
YouTube. We know you're still listening.
Ad read our social media. But yes, thank you guys for listening. See you next time.